What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Fantastic Four, issue number 46. This is the final issue by Dan Slott. In the wake of Reckoning War, the Fantastic Four family is back together. And with this being Dan Slott's last issue, he's really closing out a lot of the things that he has done. He's closing out things that he introduced in his storyline, getting ready for the next writer to take over as we see the relaunch of Fantastic Four. Now, at the end of this comic, I'm definitely going to talk about Dan Slott's run of the Fantastic Four, as well as how I feel about this issue and how he closed it out. Before we get into this issue, I do want to bring up that we started channel memberships. Much like Patreon, I have 3 different tiers of subscription, from $3 a month to $25 a month, from loyalty badges to playing video games with me personally, or even video collaborations that you might want to do. So if you are a fan of the channel and you really want to help us out, you want to support us, please consider joining the membership of this channel. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we jump into this issue, it's probably gonna be a short video because this issue's not that grand. I'm gonna be completely honest right off the bat, like this, it's mediocre at best. It starts us off with the introduction to Reed Richards' half-black sister, a sister that was more recently just found out about. Now she's out here in the ocean doing a study of marine life and movements, migrations, all of that craziness. That's when the Fantastic Four show up on site. Reed Richards coming off saying that he is a huge fan, believing that it is time that they met. She knows exactly who he is. Son of Nathaniel Richards and leader of the Fantastic Four, and also her half-brother. Something that she already knew apparently, wanting a little bit of time to really meet her, understand her, and get to know one another. She agrees to spend 4 hours with him, and so they take off. And they head off to Yancey Street because Mr. Fantastic, he is introducing her to the family, to Sue Storm, to the children, to the Thing. As everybody does their introductions, meeting their aunt. Franklin even saying that you are our aunt. They had to fight 4 different versions of Kang just to find this information out. And Joanna, the half-sister, I gotta say right off the bat, she is just very standoffish of the entire family. I would even go as far as to say is she is extremely rude to them. Very disconnected, very just not wanting to be here to begin with. I don't even know why she agreed to come along. They get interrupted by the Overseer, saying that they have finally figured out a way to help Johnny. Because Johnny, for a long time, he has not been able to turn his flame off, which means they are headed back to Spire. Obviously, Joanna not wanting to miss out on an opportunity to go to freaking space. We have a family road trip. As they make their way through space, Mr. Fantastic lets her know that this was the location that they were headed when they first got hit with those cosmic rays. That it was the chief scientists of Spire magnifying those rays that gave the effect and gave them their powers. But since then, they have made peace with this planet. In fact, the unparalleled, the superheroes of that planet, they really have made friends with. This is when we see the introduction. Joanna being introduced to Citadel, to Sky, to King Scrum, and the Overseer. And the Overseer letting him know that he is pretty sure he has the cure, or is at least able to bring down the effects of some cosmic rays. This means that Johnny Storm will be able to turn off his flame. More or less what Dan Slott is doing is resetting Johnny Storm back to his original power state. Getting inside the machine, they turn it off, it goes into full operation, Johnny Storm steps out, saying flame off, and he is back to his regular self. After months of being unable to turn off the flame, he is able to hug his sister. He is able to hug his family, to touch all of those that he loves. But with Johnny Storm being able to be fixed in this manner, he is not the only one that can be fixed. We can even have Ben Grimm back to his regular self. Now, we know that the Thing, he is not going to do that. In fact, he likes who he is. But there are other individuals that would very much like to change back. Now, of course, Joanna, she does that typical, oh, well, at least you get to go to the front of the line, blah, 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 blah. It must be nice being a celebrity, being able to jump to the line when a whole planet needs this cure. Now, right off the bat, I just don't like Joanna. I don't like her at all. Her snobby attitude, the way that she sticks up her nose to the Fantastic Four family. I don't know if Dan Slott intentionally wrote her to be disliked, but that is exactly how she is coming off. Johnny goes on to say that he was the test subject, he was the guinea pig. He wanted to make sure that the procedure, it was safe for Skye. At one point in time, they were kind of interlocked. They were intermingled, almost soulmates, if you will. But with Skye jumping into the machine, they turn it on, and Skye is reverted back to her regular form. This is when Citadel being given the soul band by Johnny. He gets down on a knee, and he asks Skye for them to be soulmates. Joanna letting it be known that she feels like she is imposing a little bit on this whole situation. Reed Richards, he decides to take her somewhere. Take her to meet all the other siblings. That being the half-sister Huntera and half-brother Arthur, aka the War Marshal. Reed Richards has very specific reasons on why he was here. After he received a hollow message from Nathaniel on the event of his death, it was his dying wish that he find Joanna and they could bring them all together. Now, the other siblings, they don't believe that their father has died. No one saw a body. No one knows that he is in fact dead. That this has to be some kind of ruse. It has to be some kind of trap. And so these guys, they're still very dismissive of Joanna. Dismissive of the idea that Nathaniel is in fact dead. As they are on their way home back to Earth, he apologizes to Joanna, saying that that could have gone a lot better. Joanna, more than anything, she wants to know why now. Why is it so important that I be involved in your life, meet my half-brothers and half-sisters? What is the purpose to all of this going on? This is when he lets her in on the fact that he was supposed to die, that he had all the knowledge of the universe, but this was slowly killing him. He was supposed to die and he didn't. And so now, because of that, he wants to take the opportunity to spend time with his family, to do the little things. As they sit here out in space, looking at the cosmos, looking at the beauty of everything going on, Reed Richards would like to ask if she wants to be part of the family. Her response is no. Take me home. This is when Reed Richards, he begins apologizing, saying that he apologizes for the entire day, that he shouldn't have done any of this, that it wasn't fair to her, blah, 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 blah. But in the midst of this apology, this is when something crazy happens. Losing control of everything going on, going through some kind of dimensional portals. With Joanna passing out, when she comes to, we see that the Fantastic Four are in a big struggle right now. They are currently subatomic. They are down in the microverse. But also right now, Reed Richards, he is being affected by Psycho Man. Reed Richards was able to get his emotional control box away from him, but now it is affecting Mr. Fantastic, affecting him with fear, doubt, and hate rays. The Fantastic Four jumping into full effect to take down Psycho Man. While they sit here in battle, Mr. Fantastic tells Joanna that he hates her, that he can't help it. He hates her, he hates Huntra, he hates Arthur. Not only that, but he hates himself. That he wasn't good enough for his father. That if he was better, his father might not have stayed away. This is when Joanna goes on to tell him that he's the golden boy, that he is Mr. Fantastic, that he truly doesn't understand because Nathaniel, he could give two craps about all of the others. Mr. Fantastic is the only one that Nathaniel has repeatedly and consistently come back to. All of his other children, he has thrown to the side. And we do see them quickly bond over the fact that they both hate their father. as the two of them have their little bonding moment. The rest of the Fantastic Four has already taken care of the threat, returning Joanna back to her boat, back to her experimentations in the marine world. Reed Richards is going along with his sister to more or less understand the work that she has been doing, tagging along so they can have a little bit more bonding. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so I'm not a big fan of this issue. To be completely honest, I almost didn't cover this issue just because, like, what are you doing, Dan Slott? Like, this was your worst issue of the Fantastic Four. This is your last issue of the Fantastic Four, and instead of doing something awesome or doing something big, you introduced Joanna Richards, which that's technically not her last name, but that's who she is. The half-sister of Reed Richards. And she is just a see you next Tuesday. She's not a nice lady. No one really would understand why she wants to be there, why they would want her there. The whole encounter was just frustrating. It was just annoying. Maybe he meant to write her in that way, but nothing about this issue was fun, was enjoyable. The only good thing I think he did was help Johnny Storm get his powers back to normal so the next writer can take over and doesn't have to fix that on their own. But for your final issue, I gotta say this is a huge disappointment. I even enjoyed Reckoning War. I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, the universe is 10 times the size it was, and they barely even touched on everything that just happened. I mean, the freaking moon was reformed. There are so many other things that you could have made your final issue about, and you made it about his half-sister. Needless to say, I am very happy that Dan Slott's run is over. I am very excited to see what comes next for the Fantastic Four. And I am hoping, with the new writer taking over, that it is going to be so much better than what we have been getting. The next time we will see the Fantastic Four will be in Judgment Day. It'll be in one of the crossover issues that I am super excited for. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with Reckoning War, or what did happen with Reckoning War, be sure to check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This will let you donate directly to the channel. You can also become a member of the channel. Much like Patreon, a monthly subscription fee. From $3 to $25, every bit of it goes to helping buying comics and making this channel even better. Now, if you can't do any of that, do me a favor, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.